to the Business Made Easy show. I'm your host, Fiona Hall, and below me on my screen, I hope it's the same place on yours, is Liz Fry, the co-host of the show. So Liz and I are we're connectors, we are learners, we love sharing new information with people, and we came together beginning to share, and I was looking for a co-host. I really wanted to do a show about educating people about ways to make their lives easier. And Liz and I have both had a word for this year, and the word was freedom. And when you're doing things easier, it's easier for you, you have more freedom in your life. So it made sense. It was a great combination between the two of us. And we have complementary skill sets. Liz is way more patient than me, I think, which is a good thing. I want it yesterday, and Liz is quite happy to just make sure it just all happens, which is fantastic. It's a good combination of personalities, I think. And so we love to interview people every Wednesday at 10 a.m. New Zealand time, and we interview a guest expert on a specific area of business that one we want to know more about, and we figure there's a lot of other people out there who want to know more about too. So we all know that in business, we come into business as an entrepreneur, and we have a specific set of skills. And those skills often allow us to do really great work for our clients, but there's stuff in the background that sits around behind us that we don't have sorted. And it makes life harder, and it makes it more stressful to run business. And sometimes if you don't get that stuff sorted, it can make you fall out of love with your business. So we figured we'd go out, we'd do some researching, and we'd learn some great stuff, and we'd share it with people out there in the world on this fantastic platform called Blab, which some days we don't think it's fantastic, eh, Liz? And some days we do. Hey, welcome to the new people joining us. Do let us know where you're calling in from. We'd love to know whereabouts in the world you are. So we are going to be interviewing the fabulous Michelle from Love Little Things. And she is a storyteller through video. She's got a wealth of experience working in TV and video and editing. So she knows the technical side, she knows how to create a story and something that's compelling for the listener. So this is a great set of skills that all of us really need to look at if we are in the business of communicating with our clients. Video is just everywhere. I know that Michelle's not going to talk about Facebook Live, but you just look at the prevalence of how much people are using video now. It's something we all need to know about. And figure out how we're going to integrate that into our businesses. So I'm really excited to speak to Michelle because I've just started using more video. Obviously, hello, what am I doing at the moment? But the idea of telling your business story on your website through video, I think, is a great way to let people to learn to know, like, and trust you. Because there's that magic, little story of the know, like, trust, try, buy. And if you can cover off those first parts of that trust and that relationship and connection with your clients, they're way more likely to purchase from you. I think in a quicker way, you've got that trust quicker, which is all it's about. I mean, there's so many businesses online. How do you cut through the noise, and how do you get known and build that trust with the people you can really help? So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. So also for anybody who's listening in who is not part of our Facebook community, we have a private Facebook group. And each day I post in there a little nugget of wisdom, something to get you thinking about your business, a tool, a video tip. And other people do post stuff in there as well. But at the moment it's me leading that each day. And I really love to share information and share knowledge. So I think it's at the very top. Can you find that link, Liz, and post it in there? Or post it in there for anybody who'd like to join us. In that group, all of our experts join us as well. So they're available after the show. If you're feeling a little bit shy and you don't want to ask questions in a public forum like this, you can pop over there and ask questions as well. So all the experts from our past shows are part of that group. So we've built a really good, strong tribe, really good community of experts, which is a fantastic place to be in because we all need help in different areas of our business, right? We don't all have it all sorted. So that's my kind of intro to the show today. And the next part of the show is I'm going to give you my little nugget of wisdom about business based on my skill set, which is systems. And then Liz will come in and she'll give you her nugget of wisdom. And she is about connecting, and she's about connecting you with the people you need to be in front of. So whether you're building workshops or you're putting on programs, she is really good at helping people find who they need to connect with for their business, but also if they're wanting to do educational type workshops in their business. So she's the person to talk to. So my nugget, I'm today going to talk about templates. I love me a template. So I used to reinvent the wheel all the time when I first started using a computer in my first serious IT job. Then I realized how much work that was. And when I tried to do it again, I would often forget stuff that, I forgot to add that in, or I forgot to pop that in. So spending some time and setting up a template for those tasks that you do regularly, whether you, in a small business, you might have, if you're doing a service-based type of piece of work, you might have a long and involved quote where you have to spell out a lot of technical stuff that you might not just send out a quick quote using a piece of software. So if you are sending out quotes, having a really good template to follow so you don't miss things out is really important. Your sales presentations and things like PowerPoint, making sure they look beautiful and consistent. They match your brand. They look like if you went to your website, you'd see the same images and colours and fonts, and the logo is in the same position. So thinking about that consistency when you're communicating with your clients, your templates are another part of your marketing tool to make sure people feel like you're professional and they're taken care of. So think about your templates that you've got in your business. The things that I've got set up, I have a template for my coaching clients. So I have the actions that they're taking and the actions I'm taking, and then we'll review that at the next meeting. It's quite a simple little one, but it's just branded and it's easy for following and ticking off. The other type of things, obviously, manuals. I create operations manuals and office manuals. I've got a template for that with all the key stuff in there. For speaking gigs, if someone needs a profile about who I am, what I am, I've got a pack I can send out which has a profile photo, it has my logo if they need to use it, and it has a couple of paragraphs about me so they can do an introduction for me, or they can put it into their marketing collateral. So what do you need to template? That's what I'm going to ask of you guys today, is what do you need to template? What have you noticed you've done more than once and forgotten where the original one was? Create a template today in Word, Excel or PowerPoint. Keep it simple until you get to the point that you might need a customer relationship management piece of software, or you move to something like Trello or another organizational tool. What do you need today to template that you've noticed that you've reinvented the wheel on a few times now? So that's me for today. I'm going to hand over to the lovely Liz Fry.
Hi.
Hi. Thanks, Fiona. Am I echoing?
A little bit. Not too bad.
Okay. So mine's really simple this morning. So, as Fiona mentions, I'm just helping people get their message out there. So it's twofold. So whether you're in your business and maybe in a bit of a funk or don't quite know where you want to go, which door of opportunity you want to go through, or who you need to get there, then it's a case of having a strategy session and working out who you need in business. Sometimes it can be quite overwhelming, whether it's another workshop, whether it's someone to work with, but I can just help you connect with that. And then if you do want to take that further and get your message out there to an audience, then we can certainly work together to get you out there and shining. So it's been quite an interesting journey for me, particularly in the last year, to come up to where I am now. And thanks to Natalie Tollop of Catapult Your Business, some amazing shifts in the last 6 weeks. So I've got a lot to thank her for. But I think my nugget today is simply not to settle, whether in relationships, whether in life, whether in home circumstances. I've just moved house like literally in the last weekend, and I blame Natalie for that, because I decided that where I was living wasn't suitable. And yeah, you know, and obviously in business as well, you know, is where you are in business where you want to be. Like in my networking group, we've got a counselling lady, and she has had 15 clients week in, week out for however many years. And so, you know, just recently she was like, actually, I want 20. If I have 20 in my business and week in, week out on a regular basis, then that will, you know, give me the opportunity to do what she wants, and to have that, you know, sort of financial freedom. So, you know, it's very easy to get caught up in the hubbub of, you know, week to week, and before you know it, it's Friday again and another week and months gone past. But actually just to stop and go, you know, is this where I thought I'd be? Is this the direction that I thought I'd be taking? And is that fire still burning? Am I still passionate about what I'm doing? And what do I need to maybe relight that fire, or, yeah, get some support and help? So, yeah, don't settle is my key for today.
I like that. Good message. Good to remember.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Liz. So I'm going to introduce our guest, Michelle. Now I want to make sure I get this pronunciation right.
Chocolate. That's it.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
It has been in Croatia.
I thought so. Now, Michelle is going to talk to us today about telling your business story through video. And she comes from a wealth of experience, as I mentioned before, working in television. She spent 15 years as a producer and director, and then 4 years ago she started a little business called Love the Little Things, making family movies. And if you jump across to our Facebook group, I'll put a link to her little story that she's created about herself and her family, which is just, you really get connected with her quite quickly. Just a beautiful job of it. The music just sits in the background and yeah, really makes it work. Fantastic. She's recently split out her business, and she's now got her family storytelling with Love Little Things, and now she's got the business movie brands. So she's concentrating on that under her own name, and that's about obviously telling people stories through video. And videography has traditionally been a male-dominated industry, and often been approached in a very technical way. And her point of difference is getting the emotion into the story. And you got that. Like I noticed myself being drawn in when I watched your video, Michelle. It was fascinating. You definitely connected, the heart connection. You got that feeling came through.
So different from what you get from words, right?
Totally. No, you just don't get that connection at all. She has 3 beautiful girls. And she runs workshops with photographers and mothers to learn how to make their own films. And she's working obviously now one-on-one with business owners so they can start telling their own business stories through videos, using their smartphones as well. And that's what I loved. I noticed that when I bought the iPhone 6 Plus specifically because I thought the quality of the video was just amazing. You know, I remember when I had my oldest child is 11, and I remember when I went out and bought a camera with a video on it, and it cost a fortune, and it was like 2 megapixels or something. And I was like, oh wow, how exciting! That was back then. Look at the quality of the video.
It's so accessible now for everyone, isn't it? So that's the great thing, and I think that's why it's really taken off as well.
Totally. So welcome, Michelle. It's really great to have you on there. So Michelle's going to talk to us about telling your business story through video. So tell us, Michelle, first off, what gave you that, why did you decide to shift into that area of business?
In terms of the business video, you mean from TV?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, well, I've always been really passionate about storytelling. Ever since I was little, I used to write. I'd spend like hours writing my own stories.
Yeah.
And then I guess once I'd done a bit of directing and producing through TV, I realized, and then I had children, and I realized that, you know, I could film and tell my own stories of my own family, which was how I kind of really started into it initially with Love the Little Things. And then I got asked a lot more to do business videos, and I found that that I could take someone's business story and make it really personal and emotive and really help them connect with their clients and their customers And so I became really excited about that as well. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And what would you say, someone starting out thinking about, okay, I'm a bit nervous about getting behind the camera, like what would you advise to be someone who, well, better phrase, are shitting their pants about the idea of putting their face on video?
Yeah. I mean, it's a process, you know, you can start off with little bits, just film yourself and don't ever show it to anyone initially, and then, you know, build up to it. And I've got lots of tips as well about people, you know, wanting to do filming and stuff. But also, like, I think even like taking it back before you do the actual filming, and obviously storytelling being my passion, I think initially you need to think about finding your stories. That's, you know, before you even do the filming.
Yeah.
And I'm super passionate about storytelling, and it's traditionally been, I think, something like an oral tradition that people have passed down from generation to generation.
Yeah.
And now with social media, everyone's a storyteller. Like suddenly we're all telling stories. You know, someone just needs to Google your name and they'll get a sense of your story and what's happening for you in your life and your business. So like whether you like it or not, we're all storytellers. We're all putting our stories out there, and so it's just a matter of thinking about, particularly within your business, you know, what story, how can you control that, and what story do you want to be telling consciously through your business. And I think the reason why storytelling is so important is because it's memorable. So I've got a really great quote here of an American lady, an English lady who lives in America actually, called Marsha Shandur, and she's a storytelling coach. And the quote I've got here from her is, "Storytelling is a brilliant way to emotionally connect with people. Our brains respond differently when we hear facts and stories. Unlike facts, we can picture ourselves in a story, which enables people to use a good story to really impact a person." And that to me sums up perfectly why storytelling is so important. So, you know, you can go to the About Me page of your website and you can read a couple of paragraphs and you're like, oh yeah. But when there's emotion and connection and you can see the pictures and you can get that across so much more in video, that person's going to be 10 times more memorable than anyone else doing the same thing. Yeah. So that's why I'm super passionate about, you know, storytelling and why it works so well. So I guess the first thing before you even pull out the video camera is to find your stories that relate to you and your business. And you can either do that with personal stories. So, for example, with Love the Little Things, I made a video that you posted in the Facebook group, and it was about me. And so my personal story fits really well with the Love the Little Things brand. So I told the story of how I'd always wanted to do photography and video myself and have my own business. And then when I had my third baby, it really pushed me to go, this is it. Like, it's really important to me that my girls see me doing what I love and following my dreams and being a strong woman and owning my own business. So I told that story through the video because that really suited my brand. It was, you know, like it was about my children, and I was talking to mothers with Love the Little Things. So that was really great. But, you know, personal stories don't always work. So you also need to think about what are the stories that are in my business. So say you own a cafe, instead of just talking about, oh, we've got coffee, it's, you know, $4 this week, whatever. You know, tell the story of being a mum and dropping your children at school and then coming into your cafe and having a coffee. So it's all about how you tell, you know, find the little stories that, you know, and your personal stories might relate to your business and fit really well, or maybe it's the story of someone who's come into your business. So there are kind of lots of different ways that you can find your stories and then put them out there using video through social media.
Yeah.
So yeah, the first step I think is to really identify the stories.
So is it telling your why, like why from the heart, why you do what you do? Is that the key?
Definitely. And, you know, in most businesses, like, you know, if you're a nutritionist, you might have the story of, you know, what you went through before you discovered this approach that really worked for you. So, yeah, definitely personal stories are really powerful. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, great. That's Yeah, that makes a lot of sense when you're thinking about it. And when you're thinking about, I'm just thinking about, where you share those stories, where, and would you put them obviously on your website?
Yeah, definitely. So your about page.
Yep.
I'm not sure if this is true, but I've read a quote that says people spend 30% more time on your about page than any other page. And me, that I know that's true. Like every time I go to a new website, I want to go to their about page. Like I want to know who they are, how they do business, and what they're dealing with.
Okay,
Makes
I better
sense,
get things for that.
Yeah. So it's really important, and I'm disappointed if there's no photo of them. Firstly, I love to see video, but not everyone does. But secondly, if there's no photo, I'm like, come on, who are you? So yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same actually, because I especially if it's someone I want to do business with, and I'm going to be meeting, I really want to know what they look like.
Yeah.
And often, like if you go to their LinkedIn profile, for example, the photo's really small, so it's kind of hard to tell.
That's right. Yeah. So take it that next step and put a video, and it's even if it's yourself talking to camera, that's better than nothing at all. Keep it succinct and short. But it's such a good place to start with video.
And how long do you think an about page video should be? Under a minute? Or?
I reckon I don't think people will even click play on something that's over 2 minutes. So up to 2 minutes. If it's kind of 2 minutes, 2:05, like I try and keep it like 1:58, 1:59.
Yeah.
It's just in this day and age, people don't have time before they go to click play on a video. If they like 3 minutes 57, I'm out. Yeah, and I notice that myself as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
So yeah, your about page, social media is obviously incredibly important. You can do 60-second videos on Instagram now.
Is it up to 60? I thought it was 15 seconds. Is it changed?
Yeah, it's changed recently. Yeah, so they roll out the updates slowly, and I only had access to it a week or so ago. So, but yeah. It's really great. It's exciting. Yeah. And Facebook, obviously, Facebook's hugely important because Facebook have an algorithm where they'll show video to more people than a still picture. So you can do a post with a photo and a post with a video, and they will organically show more people the post with video because they're really keen to get more into video. So that's really important. Yeah. And
actually, like when I did it last week, I did a video saying come and join the Business Made Easy Facebook page. We'll invite you across, and I think I had a really rubbishy reach, and it was like half of my followers got access to that just within 48 hours. So I was like,
Interesting. Yeah, definitely. And also, I think when you're scrolling through a news feed. If like still photos and text, if you see a video, and they're auto playing, even without sound, that's instantly going to attract people's attention more. They're like, it just kind of jolts you out of it. Yeah. So
our brains are wired for that movement and engagement and voice, aren't we?
Definitely. Yeah. And most people, interesting tip, most people do watch videos without sound on Facebook. So that's just something mind as well, like that you have to have something really attention getting or visually interesting for them to want to actually click the button to take it off mute. Yeah.
I found this really cool app. It's because I use Typorama. I found Video Runner, and it allows you to put text on your video. So I just started at the beginning, started putting a little piece of text.
Great idea.
Just to get people, and that made a massive difference. I had people going, that is so cool. What did you do? How did you do that? I wanted to know how I did it, and they listened to what I said. So
that's awesome. And then you'll catch the people that are scrolling, and they might be interested by the text that you've written there. Yeah.
I was going to ask that in terms of, is it a case of like imperfect action and just getting your video up there? How much time would you sort of spend for Facebook and things? Obviously, website would be different, but in terms of editing a video or whatever, like, what's your thoughts on that?
It's really different. So I deal with sort of both ends of the spectrum. I go into businesses and do everything for them and shoot it and edit it, and that's like the kind of the real high end, which has has a place definitely. But yeah, equally, if you're an entrepreneur who wants to just start using video and, like you say, imperfect action, just getting in there, then, you know, don't spend too much time. Play with it, experiment with it. Just get started doing it, you know, and then as you go and become more confident and comfortable, you'll upskill. So yeah, I definitely think it doesn't have to be a big deal straight away. You don't even have to edit. Like, you know, you can use, there are apps that you can use, you know, iMovie has a great app on your iPhone where you can trim the beginning and end of clips, so they don't have to have you going, record, you know, like you can cut that off, but then you also don't need to get caught up into fancy editing and going full on anyway. Like,
yeah, cool.
Yeah, and so I guess once you found your stories, the next step would be to kind of plan what's a good way to tell it, like which is a good vehicle to get the stories out there. So one of them obviously is filming yourself, and that's kind of probably the most common thing that people do. They film themselves on their smartphone, you know, talking to video and putting it on their pages, which is really great and a really great way to start. But I'm really passionate about that. You know, video is so much more than that. Like, people think, you know, oh yeah, I'm doing video, and that's awesome, that's great, and it is really good. But also, you know, there are how-to videos. And these are massive on YouTube. So YouTube is the second biggest search engine behind Google. So people are out there searching, you know, how to do this, how to do that. And if you can take something from your business and create a how-to video out of it, and it could be how to make a green smoothie, it could be how to build a cabinet, you know, how to organize something properly for your owner in your business. Like, just think of something like really simple, and you can film yourself, same thing, just go and get, I should have grabbed my tripod. You can go to a camera store. This is my other personal passion. Get a tripod. Get a tripod for your camera phone. They're about $15, and that will just enable you to hold it really still, which is going to look a lot nicer as well. And you can do a little how-to video. So again, it only needs to be 30 seconds, you know. This is how I do, you know, how-to. Upload it onto YouTube, and then make sure you link to your website in the description, and make sure the keywords are in the title of the video, how to make a green smoothie. That's just going to drive so much more traffic back to your website. It's a really simple, easy thing to do. Yeah.
It's amazing what you say, Michelle, about people searching for different things. My friend this weekend put his shoulder out and said that he'd just go on YouTube to find a video to how to put his shoulder back in. And I was just like, oh my God.
I went to knit from how-to videos on YouTube.
Wow.
When my kids, remember rainbow loom bands were in?
Yes. Yeah.
My kids did lots of those YouTube tutorials on, and obviously Minecraft tutorials.
Yes. Yeah. You have to think about what people are searching for and wanting to learn in relation to your business, and create how-to videos for that.
I could definitely do how to set up a template in Word. That would be for easy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. So other types of videos are client testimonials, and let your client tell your story for you. You know, let them tell the story of how easy you are to work with, and you know, how amazing your recipes are that they've followed from, you know, your website or whatever. And that's really simple to do with an iPhone, you know, or any phone, really, smartphone. You know, just say to them, you know, can I just get a really quick customer testimonial off you? It'll take 30 seconds. You know, and that's excellent for your website. That whole social proof thing, you know, to put on social media. Yeah, it's another really great way to use video in your business.
So in terms of quality on that one, because obviously for your website, you'd want, for like my about section or whatever, I'd want something professional and the high end. For the testimonials, it doesn't need to be so so up there.
I think it would be off-putting if you were kind of like, if they looked really bad and there was loud wind noise, you know, like don't but I think there are ways, and in my next section I've got some tips on how to get better looking videos, so, and audio and stuff as well. So I'll definitely go through that, because I do think, I think it's important that there's a certain standard, but they can look nice. I think just from smartphones are amazing with what they can do. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Behind the scenes is another really great type of video that people can do. What's that? Oh. I've lost your audio, Fiona. I can't hear you.
Sorry.
Oh,
it's a big soft light. It's a really soft light on my face.
No. That's perfect. Yeah, exactly. What was I saying? Behind the scenes videos are great. People are fascinated, endlessly fascinated by what goes in behind the scenes of things, and that could be, as simple as this is what I do every morning. This is my morning routine before I sit down to work for the day, or anything that you do in your business. Say I've got a friend who makes honey wraps, that reusable Glad wrap. So behind this is how the machine makes the honey wrap. Little things like that allow people to find out a bit more about your business and connect with you a little bit more. And it's really interesting, and things that you might not think are that interesting, but actually to other people they are really fascinating. So that's another really simple way. Again, put your camera on the tripod, film yourself doing something that, in your business, that gives people a bit more insight into you and your process. And the last type of video is something that I kind of call like beauty shots. And these might be just as super simple as, say, your husband brings you home a bunch of flowers from work, and you're just, you've got your thing, and you just take like a short little 10-second video of the flowers and put that on Facebook and say, I had a really bad day and I've got these beautiful flowers. So it's allowing a bit more of your personal life coming through. That's something that takes you literally 10 seconds. It requires no editing, and it's going to get your post seen by more people. I did some work for a cafe up the road, and I do like a social media package as well, where I go in and shoot 10 short videos. Do some still photos as well. So then they've got 3 months worth of photo and video posts waiting to go out on social media. So I did this job for them recently, and out the back they've got a herb garden that they use. They grow all their own herbs for their food. And so I just shot a little 10-second sequence. It was, shot really beautifully, and it was just him leaning down and, smelling the basil and then taking it back into the cafe. So that was, something that was really short. It grabs people's attention and, in social media. And then he was able to elaborate more detail in the caption. So it was kind of like what I call a beauty shot. It was just like a simple little nice shot of something that looks really beautiful. And then he can write, in the caption, he could then write, we grow all our own herbs here at Twisted Tomato, fresh, and make the meals taste amazing and that kind of thing. So, that's something else that you can think about incorporating into your video, and it's super simple and easy, and again it's like just that next level for people to connect with you.
I really like that idea. It's I've got all these ideas running around in my head. How about you, Liz?
Yeah, absolutely, and especially the sort of how to, because I'm thinking, simple things like how to network. It's could really.
For your user means, Liz, like the setup.
Oh yeah.
I can film you next time that you're doing a setup, and we can just do a short one.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Yeah,
and
very cool.
Teaming up with other friends who are business owners and helping each other out is brilliant as well. And even better than a tripod, you've got someone doing the filming for you. But you guys like a little behind the scenes of the blab of your blab show would be really cool as well.
Yeah, and that would generally just be us when
can't get it to work.
Yeah. No, we can't hear you, Fiona. Have you turned yourself
your
off?
audio.
I think, can you hear me? Should I put my earphones on? Is the camera working?
And that illustrated up perfectly because we lost your audio.
Yeah.
Love it.
And also, I was going to say, don't forget the emotion. When you're thinking about, obviously, how to make a green smoothie, there's not a heap of emotion in that. But, you know, my husband bought me this beautiful bunch of flowers. Like, there's a lot of emotion in that. So try and, like, weave in the stories that are going to have emotion in them. There's another great quote I've got here from a guy called John Medina. And he says, because it's all about how emotions make stories stick. And he says, emotionally charged events persist much longer in our memories and are recalled with greater accuracy than neutral memories. So just remember that when you're making your videos, you know, and it doesn't have to be really over the top intense emotion, but, you know, just something that people can connect with, you know, that makes them feel good, that, you know, you feel good, or maybe you're really angry about something, you know, that just get the emotion in there, because people will remember that a lot more.
Yeah, I did a video last week about being scammed, and yeah, I had a lot of responses to it.
Exactly.
I was like,
that's
stop spamming me. I call it soft spamming, and it was just fucking me.
It's perfect. Yeah, exactly. When you've got like the emotion in there and people can feel with it, they're really like, it really rouses something in them as well, you know?
Yeah. I suppose it's building that tribe kind of feeling, that people connect and go, yeah, that's me, and I can identify with you.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. And use video, you know, to get that across. It's really effective. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What's your and so for say service-based businesses where they're not selling a product, what kind of stuff have you seen work really well?
Again, it's about, I think it was Marie Forleo who said it really well. She said, people aren't buying a necklace, they're buying the idea of them dressed to the nines, wearing the beautiful necklace with a hot guy on their arm. You know, like it's selling the dream. So though I think like those are the kind of stories that you want to conjure up in people's minds, and you can do, you know, really well with video. Definitely.
So for service-based businesses and consultants like myself and other people who are working on the B2B market,
yes,
it's like the outcome. So at the end of working with me, you'll feel this way, you'll experience these emotions. It's capturing that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and then also, you know, you've got all the tips and tricks and how-to stuff that you can do with video. So you've kind of got like there's quite a few avenues that you can go there. Client testimonials, you know, even yourself and you're talking to camera about spammers, you know, like all of like, just keep thinking along all of those lines and branching out, about what you can do with it. Yeah. And then of course, you know, you could have me come make you a beautiful brand movie.
Yeah, so tell us about what a brand movie is. Tell us, explain what that means.
Okay, so brand movies, I love doing brand movies. So basically, I go along and meet with the business owner, and I spend an hour with them finding all about their business and their brand and what makes them tick and how they started the business and you know, everything. And people often say to me, I don't have any interesting stories. It's pretty boring. And then you'll find out, you know, that they have these incredible little nuggets in there. And that's really my specialty, I think, is listening to, you know, I'm fascinated by people and their stories, and I love, you know, hearing them and picking out and going, that is really interesting and it relates really well to your business, and I think people can really connect with that. So that's what I do. And then we plan out what we're going to show in the video, and I do an interview with people. So what I do is I kind of form like a loose kind of script, I guess, as it were, and then I'll sit down and I interview them. And I never make people talk directly to the camera, because like 99% of the time it's going to look awkward and slightly, unless, you know, obviously they've been filming themselves a lot and they're used to it. So I have my camera here and I interview them, and it's a conversation between them and I. So that's how I get the audio and the sound bites to go through the video. And then I go around with them and shoot, like I did one for a holistic nutritionist recently, and we went to the Parnell markets and shot, you know, she goes there every weekend and buys her vegetables, so we filmed that and it looked beautiful, and I got her doing some yoga and all that kind of stuff that matches up. And then I get all my footage at home and I kind of weave it into a story about their business. And yeah, I love doing it so much. It's just so much fun, and it just looks really beautiful, and people, I think, can really connect to them in a way that they never would have been able to otherwise. Yeah.
I watched that video, and I did, because you hear a label or someone's job title, and you're like, what does that really mean?
Yeah,
It's really get a sense of it. And there's lots of interesting job titles out there that people who are starting their own businesses create for themselves, and they sound fun, but unless you've got a frame of reference, it's really hard for people to get what that is, right?
Exactly, yeah. And I mean, they say, like, a picture is, what's that saying? A picture is worth
Paints 1,000 words.
1,000 words.
1,000 words, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, then video is worth like 1,000,000 words. I reckon. You can't compare, it's totally different. Yeah. It's just that next level. Yeah.
That makes so much sense. And in terms of trends or things that are coming up, what have you seen kind of in the marketplace for video?
Definitely more emotive, story-driven video is probably like a really big trend that I've seen people leaning towards. So, what you said in the intro that I'd mentioned to you about video had previously been very male-dominated. And I think that was, it came from the very technical side. So, I know what I need to know technically, but the technical is not my passion. Like, sometimes I'll go on shoots and the guy's like, oh, so what's your lens, ISO, blah, but, kind of, really like trying to engage me on that. And I'm like, look, this is it. This is what it is. And I know what I need to know, but what I'm interested in are the people in the story.
Yeah.
I think people are realizing, and also just with the online world being so noisy, I think people are realizing the way to stand out is with connection and emotion far more than ever before. So, yeah, I think that's definitely a trend that I'm seeing people getting towards more and more now.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's the trend of just like, of people just doing it, like just filming themselves, talking to camera, doing the Facebook Live posts, that's really big as well. And I think that's great too. Like there's a time and a place for both the beautiful high end and for the, hey, this is me, here I am talking to my phone and connecting with you on that level.
There's the structured and then the off the cuff kind of.
Yeah.
Do you, what I noticed is that, I'm sure you've done this before as well, is you maybe click on an ad or look for something, and then you click on it and it takes you to a sales page, a lead page, and you've got the video of the person. Liz, Michelle, done that. What I noticed is that some of it's changing, but there is still this kind of formulaic thing that doesn't connect with me, which is fascinating. And it does tend to be, sorry males listening, but a lot of guys kind of like, you need to do this. And it feels like I'm being shouted at and told off. And it's really repelling me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really interesting, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, I guess that probably, maybe that works for some people. But there's a more kind of like, I don't know, maybe it's that softer feminine way of kind of doing stuff. Yeah. Which I really love. Yeah.
So do you think yours are more building up the relationship and the connection as opposed to what Fiona's describing as pretty much the hard sell kind of thing? So do you get any sort of soft sell into yours, or it's literally
I always,
about...
when I'm doing brand movies for clients, we always end on a call to action, but I would never start with call to action, and I would never lead as well with, hi, my name is. And that's something, actually, one of the tips I've got coming up, lead in the first line. There's that great saying, like, make your, the first 3 seconds of someone watching a video is crucial. They'll turn off if they're not into it within the first 3 seconds. So if you're wasting those first valuable 3 seconds going, I've got this great thing for you to buy, or even like, hi, my name's Michelle, you're kind of wasting that time. Like bleed in the first line. So lead with like something that's the most compelling thing that you're going to say. And I often do that when I'm doing the brand stories. So I did one for an osteopath that I just finished editing yesterday. And, they talk about, she talks about doing osteopathy on babies and blah, blah. But there's a beautiful, like midway through the interview, she said to me, I'm just so passionate about parents having a really enjoyable first time with their babies and being able to connect to them because they're not in pain, they're comfortable, and they can build that good relationship. So I led with that line in the video. So that was my opening line. And then it came into, you know, we do osteopathy for babies, it's good for colic, blah, blah. So yeah, really get that, you know, make it interesting straight away initially. Yeah, I think, does that answer your question? I feel like I got a bit sidetracked there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, it was just about the soft sell.
Yeah,
but no, that's really important, because I think I always start with, hi, if you don't know me, my name is.
Yeah, that's right. And you can do that second. Like, so start with something really juicy. Like, I am so over the people spamming me. And you go, you know, hi, my name's Fiona, and today I'm going to talk to you about people spam. You know, like, not exactly like that, but you know what I mean. Like, yeah. But yeah, definitely, I think it's in terms of the soft sell. I really love, is it Gary Vaynerchuk who wrote the jab, 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 right hook? So, you know, give without asking for anything in return, and then sell. So, you know, you can do that. You can make, you know, you can give in many ways, but the same thing applies with video, I guess. How-to videos, tips, you know, and then, you know, maybe this one's about a product that you've got coming out.
If you're posting in a specific group, obviously they hopefully know who you are. So, when is the right time to kind of say, this is my name? Like, I'm just wondering. Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? I guess if the video you're making is going to an engaged audience, say who are there specifically to watch your video, say you've done an online course and people have paid money and they're sitting down to watch the video, like, I think that's different. And probably okay then to go, hey, you know, it's Michelle, welcome to today's course, rather than when you're in someone's Facebook feed and you're wanting to stand out and get their attention really quickly. Yeah. Then I wouldn't lead with that. I would kind of always think about doing something attention grabbing and then coming back to the intro and flowing on from there. Yeah.
So you'd lead with that line, like, I'm so fed up with spammers, how about you? And
exactly.
Hi, I'm Fiona Paul.
Exactly, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Because otherwise,
and I mean, that's the thing, I guess, because, yeah, like if it is on your Facebook page, you know, and it's your followers, then they're going to know as well, aren't they? So, it's not the priority.
Yeah, also if people, though, haven't, you know, often your Facebook page doesn't get into a lot of people's feeds these days, so they might only be seeing you really occasionally. Yeah.
Sure.
I was also thinking, so like if you want something to go viral, you want it to be shared, and you want people to know who you are, just when would be the right time to say your name, or, you know, to give them the opportunity to know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I reckon just the little nugget at the top, and then you can go into introducing yourself, definitely, because by then you've hopefully already hooked them, and if they're interested in what is coming up, they're gonna hang around.
Makes sense.
So tell us about your other tips in terms of...
Okay, so I've got some tips for filming on your smartphone, and I've got my beautiful iPhone in a really ugly life-proof case because I drop it all the time. But yeah. Oh, that's a nice case. That's cool. That's what I need. Look at my ugly. Mind you, this is totally shockproof, waterproof. I can drop it, and I do drop it frequently. Yeah, and it still works. Your audio's gone again, Fiona.
Screen protection, but it's also shockproof as well.
That's what I need. Okay, so a couple of tips on filming, just some really basic ones. Firstly, always hold your phone horizontally when you're filming. So a lot of people film like this because I guess it's the natural way to pick it up and start filming. But when you think of a TV screen, so when you play it back on a computer screen or a TV screen, if your footage is shot this way, it's going to have black lines down the side because this is the shape of a TV screen. So that's just a really simple, basic one. Just always film like this. With lighting, just make sure you're close to the light source. So whether you're inside and that's a window, so I've got a window here. If I was, if I was wanting to film myself and I was I had my back to the window, that's going to be a bit ugly. So again, just facing the light source. So you can see that looks much nicer. So the light's shining on you. If you're outside, you want to be in shade. If you're in sun, it's going to be really contrasty and harsh and create shadows. So stand in open shade, which is under a tree or something, but be close to the edge of the open shade, if that makes sense. So don't be right underneath the tree, way back and under the tree, because it's going to be a bit dark. So be like close to that where the shadow of the tree ends, where the sun can still hit you, but be in the shade. So that's a basic lighting tip. Sound, take a second to close your eyes and just think about what you can hear around you. So you might hear the radio in the background, shut it off. You might hear the neighbours' kids, maybe move away from that. Outside doesn't often work really well for the little microphones on smartphones. So, if you can, inside is better in terms of audio, and just, keeping it, if you set up on a little tripod, again, don't be like way far away from the microphone, just be as close to it as possible. Think of yourself as a human tripod. So, if you're filming something, tuck your elbows in, put your feet kind of like splay your feet hip width apart, and just really hold it steady. You can, it can be a bit tricky. I mean, that works all right, but if you're filming like a beauty shot or a how-to video or something like that, just, really think about being a tripod, lean against the wall, anything to, I mean, the image stabilization is pretty good in these days, but just, give it a bit of help by trying to be quite stable. Movement is the other thing that's really key. So I always think whatever I'm filming has to be moving, or I have to be moving. So it's really visually pleasing to the eye to have a bit of movement in the shot. And, when I'm talking about movement, like if, say, I'm filming my child running around the beach, they're moving, so that's fine. I can be still. Say I'm filming the beautiful bunch of flowers my husband's bought me. And it's not like, you don't want to go like crazy, but just, really subtle kind of, it's just a subtle kind of shift. That's all it needs to be, like shifting your weight from one foot to the other foot.
So it's like panning slightly.
Exactly, yeah. Just really slight, gentle movement, and it keeps it more sort of visually interesting. What else have I got? Loosening up. So this is a good one if you're really nervous and you want to film yourself. And I've seen many people in voiceover booths and actors do this, and I use it myself when I'm filming my own videos. Just get out of your head. Like, you might be sitting there just feeling really nervous, put your favorite music track on and just dance for a couple of minutes. Have it really loud, and then sit down and film without thinking about it. Like, get yourself out of your head. Or even more simpler, just do a couple of star jumps. Just stand up and do like 5 star jumps and then sit down. Your energy levels will be like will be raised, and your energy will come across a lot more in your video.
Michelle, I got taught this power pose when I went to a course the first time I learned how to speak on video, and she's like, power pose! And you lift your hands above your heart and come down, power pose! And she got us all yelling at, and just shifted the state. It was quite good.
That's perfect. That's great. And again, that's getting you out of your head, instead of going, oh my God, I feel so nervous, what do I look like? You're being really silly, and then, you're so much more relaxed. So it does really help. It makes a real difference. Yeah. The first 3 seconds, we talked about how critical the first 3 seconds are, and and bleeding in the first line, just, capturing people's attention, initially is really important as well. Yeah.
I suppose that's kind of similar to a news story. The news always starts off with that, attention-grabbing headline, so you've got to have that headline.
Exactly. It's like the clickbait on those online articles that say, you won't believe what happened to this woman when she ate her hamburger, and you click read it.
Oh, that's so annoying.
And it's usually horrendously disappointing. So don't be that person, but make it relevant and something that is interesting. Exactly. Just like a news headline. Yeah. Yeah.
And do you how can people, if they're interested, they want to look at doing a brand movie, how can people work with you? Go to your Facebook page, or
so I have got a really basic lead page website. So my website's on my to-do list because seeing as I split out my family and business movie brands, I'm kind of starting from scratch with the business stuff. But they can go to michellesokolich.co.nz and see some examples of my work. I've also got my Vimeo portfolio, which has got examples of all of my videos that I've made, which I don't know the address off the top of my head, but I can probably pop it into the chat thing. And yeah, or my Facebook page, which is Michelle Sokolich Video. Oh, there you go, thank you. And the Vimeo portfolio.
We'll pop that in there so people
Yeah, we can do that, yeah.
Yeah, sounds cool. And anybody who's not in our Facebook group can jump across here and have a wee look and look at her beautiful video that she created for Love the Little Things. Hey, you've given me so many good tips today. I can't wait to go do some videos. How about you, Liz?
Yeah, absolutely. And just the different types of videos, you know, like when I haven't done a huge amount, but the ones I have done, it's just stuff coming out my head. But yeah, the sort of how-to videos and obviously the client testimonials is always a good one. And then, yeah, like I've posted some things again about behind the scenes, but yeah, not thought to video it. So yeah, great ideas there. Thank you.
I've got you thinking. It's so, I mean, it's just, you can't not be doing video, you know, right now in this day and age. It's kind of pretty crucial, and everyone out, you don't want to be left behind, because I think so many people are utilising it now, and it's just so important. Yeah.
It's just that, what's the quickest way to build trust, really, with people who don't know you yet, really?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And especially if you want to build an international client base, which is my goal. That's why I'm doing that show.
Yeah. So I'm working on a workshop for business owners to get more video into their business with their smartphone. So I'll keep you posted with when that shouldn't be too far away. I'll keep you posted with that as well.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, that'll be a day when business owners can come along with their smartphone, and we'll, you know, together we can brainstorm their stories and we can shoot some video and get them doing some basic stuff. So it's kind of, you can, you know, leave the calls going home with some stuff that you can use. Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's so valuable.
Awesome.
Not knowing where to start is what pretty much stops us doing most things, right, Liz?
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. So having someone there to hold your hand and guide you through it's always good.
Yeah, especially with someone with your experience. And it's so, and you know, the accessibility of you doing things through your smartphone, it just, I recently found some old letters of my father's that he wrote in 1981. And he was talking and he used to run the audiovisual department and hear the drama and made short films with friends, and just listening to him, the excitement of the video camera, you know, the ones that you'd have to carry around with the big pack and the, yeah. He was writing to his friend about, oh my gosh, and the zoom in, there's a zoom in and zoom out button, and, you know, just
Wow.
I was thinking about that today, coming on, going, wow, look how far.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to get me to be the gopher girl, carry things around when he used to do things in the weekend.
That's hilarious. I love it.
How technology has taken us.
Yeah, and now everyone can do videos and tell their stories, and yeah, it's really exciting. It's an exciting time.
Yeah, I love the telling the why, because I think that's just such a good way to connect with people and
Absolutely.
with who you really are.
Yeah, so important.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for your time today. I have got lots of notes about you, Liz.
Yes, lots.
It's my pleasure.
As always.
I'm so glad. I just love it, and I love talking about it. So thank you for having me.
Oh, it's been great. Next week, to go into the visual side of things, we've got Charlene Ferguson, photographer from Focal Point Studios, coming on to talk about photos.
That'll be great.
She is the creative talent behind my new branding photos I had done, which I was so excited, and she really was able to give me, my personality came through, who I was. I dropped trying to be this corporate image that I wasn't, and I was just me, and I just feel really confident with those photos being out there because it really reflects who I am. And what I've noticed is the kind of clients I'm getting relate to me, and it's a lot easier to do business with them. So
perfect, that's great.
I think a video and visually is really important, right?
Definitely, yeah, that's great. I can't wait to see them. I have to stalk you now and find them.
So yeah, so thank you so much for today. Liz, any last messages you'd like to leave our listeners with today?
Well, yeah, just following on from what Michelle's saying, really, just get your message out there, and obviously video is going to be the best way to do it. So yeah, just time to show up and shine.
Totally. Michelle, any last words of wisdom to people out there thinking about video in their business?
I think just do it. Just jump in and do it, and start before you're ready and all that. Yeah, have a go. Even if you never show it to anyone, have a play, practice, just do it. Yeah, just jump in and do it. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be massively technical. It's within your reach, and it's just a great way to promote your business.
Fantastic. Yeah. Awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing all the videos that I think might be popping up soon. And yeah, make sure that you do share with us your course that's coming up, and we'll make sure that gets to all the Business Made Easy people. Awesome.
Thank you.
Recording. Thanks very much.